Hi everyone. Welcome to Perfectly Planned Content's Writing Wednesday video series, where we dive into the power of words and the many ways that writing can impact your business. I'm so excited to talk to you today in the next installment of our copywriting series. Up until now, we've discussed the home, about, and services page. Now, today's page is for all of my lifelong learners and people who are committed to bringing high quality content in an educational fashion, the resources page. So let's start off by talking about why the resources page matters and what it is. So the resources page is like a content hub. Think about it as a space that houses all of your top tier content for your audience to consume and help them answer their questions, engage with your brand, meet their needs, and maybe learn something new. So there are three really compelling reasons for creating a resources page. One is warming up your leads. Your leads will know so much more about you, about your services, and about how you can help them solve their problems by interacting with your content. So they're going to come to you already knowing what you do and how you can help them, which is fantastic. So it helps them be more engaged in your brand upfront. Second is that it boosts SEO. Resources pages are a wonderful opportunity to incorporate more of your keyword strategy. You have the option for long tail, short tail, and local keywords. We'll talk about that a little bit more in this video later on. And three, your resources page cements you and your brand as a thought leader. You want to be the top resource in your niche for your audience. So this is a really big opportunity for brands to put out high quality education that speaks directly to their audience. Now let's jump into the 5 tips to help you make your resources page shine. The first is to decide on the right structure for your resources page. Now, when you're thinking about a structure, the first thing you have to consider is your audience. You will hear me say this time and time again, but it's really true. When you think about who it is you're speaking to, you'll have a better idea of how the page should look. In general, there are about 2 options that you can look at. First is the resources page by content. So perhaps you'll have the option to filter between blog posts, videos, podcast episodes, in-person or virtual events. When you structure the page this way, it allows your viewer to get the type of content or experience that they're looking for very easily. Brands that are really successful with this strategy tend to have one pretty clearly defined niche because all of the content applies to their audience. So no matter who is coming, they will get value out of the webinar you're recording or the blog post that you just updated. And second is you can sort your resources page by your niche. This is really helpful for businesses that serve multiple people and multiple different types of people. So say that you are serving business owners and also tech executives. Those 2 people will likely require different things from you, and you may tailor your services to help them answer their questions. So a tech professional might be deeply concerned about their equity and making sure they don't have a concentrated stock position. And your business owner might be wondering about exit strategies and how to plan for their successor. Your resources page should speak directly to those people. So maybe you would have 2 different case studies that resemble how you would work with those different types of people, or you would highlight the content that's most applicable to them. Now, if you also have a blog, this can be important to pull the blog out and put it as a separate page tab because your blog will likely speak to both niches and isn't necessarily just ingrained in one. So tip number 2 is to select the type of content that you'll feature. This is the fun part. This is where you get to have your content lineup, right? Your VIPs. And start to think about again why your audience is there. Their motivation will really help you pick the right pieces of content. And it can be anything you wish. It can be a webinar recording. It can be a lead generation material you hope for them to download. It can be featured blog posts that you and your team put a great deal of time and effort into. Perhaps it's an infographic or a case study or sample financial plan. Pick the things that are going to showcase your value the best and feature those up front. And when you're going through this process, you might notice you have some gaps in your content plan. So you might really want a case study, but you just don't have one. That's totally okay. Make sure you put it in your editorial calendar, and if you're working with a team, coordinate with them on how to get that project going. Now, this tip is a little interesting, but I want you to consider including relevant third-party content on your resources page. Now, this does not mean affiliate marketing or recommendations for different brands. All this means is you're providing a complete education experience for your niche. So say you are serving families that are planning for college. In that case, you might want to include links to the federal student aid website, different loan forgiveness applications, FAFSA logins and updates, your state's 529 plan, all of these different resources that paint a complete picture and help your audience know to come to you first for the best and relevant sources. Again, that really ties back into the thought leadership component of the resources page. The third tip that I have for you is to make sure that you are having a keyword strategy that's complementary to the rest of your website. Resources pages are absolutely fantastic places to put your long tail, short tail, and local keywords. This is especially true if you have clearly defined niches. So definitely remember the words and phrases that you want to capture, and be sure to use resources like Ubersuggest, SEMrush, Answer the Public, different resources that help you see what people are searching and asking for related to your niche. That'll help you get kind of the best types of keywords for your brand. And number 4 is to keep the resources page clear and clutter-free. So there's so much amazing information that you have to give to your audience, but your audience does not want to see your messy desk, your notes scribbling on random pieces of paper. They want a very clear narrative and clear path to follow. So you have to be able to select just a few content pieces you want to highlight and make sure that it's laid out in a way that makes sense. This is a really good opportunity to connect with your designer or web developer to help you figure out how you want it to look. Your content team or brand strategy team will also help you on a high level think through how you want to structure the page. And lastly, tip number 5 is to give your reader an action. So yes, you are providing incredible value with this resources page, but you don't want to miss an opportunity to add primary call to action. So what is it that you want your audience to do? Perhaps it's to download a really valuable resource, or maybe it's to book a call with you to talk through their sample financial plan, something of that nature. So making sure that the action is very clear and very valuable. So clear, we want to keep it about 3 to 5 words max. And high value, your audience needs to know what they are going to get from you by clicking on that link, clicking on the button that you choose. So now is the time for you to be resourceful and use all of these tips to make a resources page that helps your brand shine and shows what an incredible content leader you can be. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to talk to you more soon. Until next time.